Okay. Okay, so you got your Cricut, and we're gonna start trying to use it to build a t-shirt. So what you want to do is download the Cricut software first. So you'll open up your computer. Let me log in quickly. Okay, so we're gonna go to Cricut.com. It's So when I typed in Cricut.com, it added a /setup to it, and then it redirected me to this address. So what you're going to want to do is hit download. This will probably be not for Mac, but you're going to want to download the software. So do that. Once it's downloaded, then you might have to make an account, and so that all your projects are saved to your name. So once you've done that, you should be able to open the Design Space app here. Okay, and then I'm going to sign in. Let me sign in real quick. Okay, and I've signed in, and now I get this screen. And so you're going to not have any projects when you start. So you're going to hit new project, that plus, and you hit add. And then it's going to set you up with just a blank canvas, which can be pretty daunting. So I like to hit this templates thing. And this has a bunch of stuff that you can make, but I just type in up at the top here. I just type in a shirt. No, not shirt. Okay, and it comes up with all these shirts, but I just pick this classic t-shirt. And then whatever color my shirt is, right here you can set the color of your shirt. So let's say I have a yellow shirt here. Type in yellow. Okay, so now you have some shirts, at least, something to work with. Now you can upload your own image here. This is what I usually do. You can create your own shapes, you can write your own words, and I think you can get images from this thing. I usually upload my own. But just for your first shirt, let's just write some words. So I'm going to click this text, and oh yeah, you can see down here it says add text here. Okay, so I'm going to type dad's first shirt. Okay, and you can see here I'm writing it in the box here, and I see it over here. Okay, so I don't like how it's all to the left. So you can see up on the tools here, there's some things that you can do. You can change the font. Let's change it to something different. So they have fonts that you can pay for, or they have free fonts. So if you see here, you can see they have their own fonts, and if you want to use their fonts, they make you pay like a subscription fee. You can use your own system fonts. I'm just going to use our own system fonts because I don't like to pay for stuff that I can just get for free. So let's say I want to take this cool like font there, and now I get like I get this. This doesn't look really great, does it? So it's because of the letter spacing. So this is a style regular. You can change this to bold sometimes. And letter spacing is 1.2. Let's try to go less and see if we can get this. As I type down, push down on this, you can see these are coming together a little bit better. And now you can see that it fits a little bit better. It's a little bit nicer. Also, I want it to be centered. So I'll change that to be centered. Right here, alignment is centered instead of left. So I hit center. And now that changes that. And now I can grab this down here. I can grab this and just drag it up. I just click on it and drag it up. And I want to make it bigger. So I can grab this and just drag it like that. And I don't like how this is all like just so horribly spaced. So you can see like there's also this thing called line space. And I'm going to try to click that down a little bit. You can see that it's getting there. So I click down. Yeah. And then you can also get these a little bit more condensed. So you can just play around with it. This is a funny like cursive font, and that's why it's fiddly, but you can just play with the text like that. And basically once you're happy with that, you can start to make your own shirt. Okay, so how do I do that? Now say I wanted to print this. Now this design can be whatever you want. You can upload your own. Let's try to upload so I can show you like how this works. All right, so let's just say I'm gonna go on Google, and I'm gonna try to get a shirt that I think you might like about a helicopter. USMC logo. Okay, so you see some, so I'm going to click this images section so I get just all images. Okay, so I'm looking for something that's very simple, black and white. Like something like this. What if we wanted to make this? This looks kind of cool, and this will illustrate perfectly what I want to do. So I'm going to save this image, and I'm going to do that by right-clicking it and save image as. Okay, it's going to save on my desktop, and I'm going to name it Marine Skull. Okay, save that. Okay, so I saved that. Okay, so now how do I print that? Like how do I get that from the file that I just saved into the machine? So let's figure out how to do that. Let's go back to our Cricut app, and I'm gonna upload this image now. Okay, there's my, I'm going to upload an image. I'm just going to select because I know where it is. It's on my desktop. And it's the marine skull. I'm going to open that. Okay, and then I'm going to select this simple. You can play around with this if you have a better, if you have a more complex image, you can select it differently. Okay, so it comes up here, and then it says, okay, select and erase. Click on the areas of the image you want to remove. So that's all the white. I want to get rid of all this white because we want it to be able to vector cut around this shape. So I'm going to click on all of the white, and I'm just going to leave the skull. So just clicking into the white bits removes it. Okay, and that part. Okay, cool. All right, so now we've got all the white bits removed. So I hit continue. Okay, so you could save as a print then cut image, which we don't want to do. We want to save as a cut image. Just save it as a cut image right here. You can see it's a little bit kind of not smooth. I don't really like that. Might have to go back and see why that happened. Might just be a small file, but let's pretend that that's not like that. Anyways, I'm going to save it as a cut image. And now I have it here. And now I can insert that image onto my new shirt. And let's just say I want that to be put on the back. Okay, and now all I have to do is size it, arrange it. You can see the dimensions here. So you kind of like, you can't cut bigger than, you can, but for now, don't cut bigger than your screen dimensions. Your screen dimensions will be a little bit bigger than a sheet of paper, but the closer you get to the edge, the harder it is to make a good print. So just keep it kind of like, I wouldn't go bigger than 10 inches wide, for instance. So this is a good size. It's still a big image, but it's nice and it'll be easy to cut and print. Okay, so now you just click Make It. Okay, so it's going to sort these mats into the little thing. And I want to kind of fit this, since I'm going to use this to I'm going to use it as a stencil to go on my screen. I will need to first of all like put it in the middle so that I've got a nice boundary, because the vinyl will be this whole square. So I'll cut my vinyl to be 12 inches by 12 inches, and then it's going to cut this out of it. And then I will peel this skull out of it. And then when I screen it, the ink will go through that empty hole where the skull is and show up. And then I'll get the skull on my t-shirt. And also, so the USMC comes up, you want to mirror print this. So click this mirror thing, and that's going to flip it. And so make sure you mirror cut it, because when you screen through it, it will show up correctly. And I will show you how that works. Okay, so I'm ready to print this. Now I need to, there's a little USB plug. You just plug this guy in. You plug your USB in, make like that, and then let's turn the machine on. Okay, the machine's on, and I have it set to vinyl. This little dot is set to cut vinyl. I'm going to open this thing. All right, cool. I've got this is the cutter, and I've got that set in this B tray. So in order to use this, make sure that your little knife is in its position here. Put it in there, and then clamp that shut. And then we're going to get the vinyl, and we're going to put it on our little Cricut mat pad thing. And I will go grab some vinyl. And here's a piece that I prepared earlier. Okay, and put this on. This kind of surface is a bit tacky. I know this isn't as big as what you were, but that should do it. Okay, so I've got my vinyl. I've loaded it on the mat. I'm gonna. There's these little grooves that you stick it in. There's a groove there, and there's a groove there. Slide it in as far as it will go, and kind of hold it in place, and then hit this. This button here will load it in. So when I hit that, it's gonna grab it. Okay. And then I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna hit continue. It says it's connecting to my thing. Wants me to set my material. Okay, I've kind of done that out of order, but it says it's the tools and the material are loaded, and I can press the go button here. Okay. Okay, and I can press the go button. And a lot of times this pulls it through, so you want to give the machine enough space to kind of let it pull through. See, because you can see in the back, like it's going to push this thing through. So if you don't have enough space, it kind of gets angry at you. But this is just going to cut out the skull. All right, I'm going to stop there for a while. Okay, so I've taken the thing out with the unload button, the load unload button. It's cut the skull out. And so now we're going to do a process called weeding. So this is where you will take away the vinyl that you don't need so that you get something useful. Okay. So I've got this little tool that's you can use tweezers or just some kind of like stick tool to kind of like get this vinyl like kind of up off the paper. And so I'm gonna get the skull off of here, and I want it to leave my my lettering there. And so you can see I'm peeling off what I don't need there. And it's kind of faint because I'm using white vinyl, which is sometimes silly, but this is the best vinyl I have for sticking onto my screen, but you can see it there. So it was very easy to weed that. And now that we have this is my stencil. How do I get it on my screen? Okay, this is where the transfer tape comes in. I'm going to turn my Cricut off and get it out of the way because I'm basically done with that. And now I'm going to get some transfer tape and show you how to do this. Okay, here's the transfer tape. This is basically just normal tape, but it's got a very low tack. But it's used to transferring for transferring vinyl from the roll to another surface. So I'm just going to start from one end there. And then I just lay it down as start from one end. And then just roll, and as you roll, just lay it flat with a little squeegee or big squeegee, whatever you got handy. There we go. Okay. And since that doesn't cover it, I'm going to do it one more time. Okay. Okay, so I've got my transfer tape, and this will help me lay this down on my screen. Okay, so I want to lay this on the back side of the screen. So this is the kind of the deep end. You can see, like, put my thumb on. This side is the back. And I've taped some coins on here. This helps give a little bit of clearance so that when you're screening, you have to press through it, and that way you don't get early transfer of ink. Anyways, you're gonna want to lay your skull on the back side of the thing. So let's do that. Just start. All I have to do is kind of peel off the backing here of the vinyl. So I'm just taking the backing off of that, like that. And now I'm going to lay this on the screen. I've been trying to center it as well, like just eyeball it so that you get it centered, because this will make, when you put your t-shirts on, it'll make a hell of a lot easier to center your t-shirts as well. Just stick that on there. Put a little easy wipe down there. You can flip it around and get into it on this side too. And then now the trick is to get the transfer tape off whilst leaving the vinyl on the screen, which isn't always easy because the screen doesn't like to hold it too much, but if you take your time, you can get it so that the vinyl stays on the screen. Just easy does it. Go slow on this step. It takes a little bit of patience. Some vinyl just does not like to stick to the screen, but this vinyl doesn't do too bad of a job of sticking to the screen. Just take this and just go slow. Sometimes the little bits, like these little letters, are going to want to come up, but you can just keep putting them back until you get it where they're still laying down. Watch this. Watch these like little nose pieces will come up, and you can kind of like hold them down with your finger. Yeah. Yeah. Easy does it. Nearly there. And boom. Okay. So now basically we've got our stencil on our thing. Sometimes there's a little bit of a bubble here. I can cut that with a thing and get that to lay flat. But I'm not going to worry about it for this because I'm not really that concerned. But now you can really get into it with the squeegee again and get that to lay down really nicely. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got our stencil. And you can see when you are going to screen this, it's going to actually print in the correct direction. That's why we had to mirror it. So what we would do now is we'd mask off the rest of these edges here with masking tape. And I'll do that just so you can see. This is a step-by-step full service tutorial. Okay, we'll just mask this off. I might have to make this shirt. Okay, continuing to mask. Masked. Okay. Okay, so you can see that's all masked off. It's all masked off now. Alright, so we're ready. We're basically ready to print this. So now you would just get your shirt, put on your ink, and with the big squeegee. Okay, so to finish this off, let's actually print a shirt, just for the hell of it, with this new design. I've got a black shirt here. And I'm going to take all the little tags off of here so we can print on it. These shirts are about $3.75 at Kmart. Sometimes they're on sale for like $3, so they're pretty cheap. Yeah, we got a little shirt here. A black t-shirt with a white skull, right? Classic. Okay, so we have our t-shirt flattened out there. We've got our prepared skull here. We've got some white paint. We've got a little spoon to put it on here. Do you notice anything? We're missing a bit here. So it might have been when I was transferring this, but I don't want to print this just yet because I'm missing a little M. So I'm going to make a little adjustment. Maybe on my transfer tape. Could be on the back of my transfer tape still. I balled it up. I balled it up a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to get it out of here if it's in there. A little bit of vinyl must have come up in my tape. I wasn't careful enough when I pulled it up. That's alright. I can just cut out another bit of this pretty easily with my hand. So I've got a little knife and I've got a little scrap of some white vinyl here. I'm just gonna make a little on the fly adjustment. It won't look as nice as if it was pro cut, but I'm just gonna hand cut something just because this is just a tutorial. I'm not like really gonna probably wear this shirt a hell of a lot. But if sometimes you gotta, I could just cut it on the machine again, but I'm just gonna get this over with. I'm just gonna put that there. Okay. Probably no one will even notice. No one will even notice, I bet. We know, but people just don't notice stuff like that. Okay, so let's get reset up. After that, it's kind of good to just, before you print, just make sure, just give it one more check and see if you need to fix anything. All right, I look like I'm in the middle there. All right, let's go with the white paint. White ink, I mean. All right. Now, I'm going to come in with a large size squeegee. I'm just going to drag that over the top, and I'm going to come back up with it. And I might come right back down with it one more time. Okay, let's pull it up. Ooh, we got a t-shirt. Okay, so here we are. Pretty good print. You can see with these cuts, it's very fine, so you will get those little ridges in there because it wasn't just so smooth when we started. You know, it's going to get a little bit of these little imperfections. But that's all part of the design. If you don't want that, make sure that you give a nice clean image when you're putting it to the machine. But anyway, that's a pretty cool shirt. And the last thing you'll have to do is when this dries is iron it for about 2 to 3 minutes, and that sets the ink. And once the ink is set, then you can wash it and it won't come off. If you just wear this shirt without ironing it, when you throw it in the wash, you'll find a lot of the ink comes off and you'll get a very faint shirt. So be careful of that. But anyway, that's how to make a shirt.